How much do you need in emergency funds? Perhaps not as much as you think. Use Worksheet 11.1 contained on the enhanced portion to find your goal. As you're accumulating that money, you want to put it into a savings or money market account that pays a decent rate of interest, but not the same one I advised you to open in How Do I Save for a Goal. Why? Because you want to keep your emergency money separate. If you start blurring the line, your emergency fund could become your vacation fund, and all of a sudden you're tan, but you're back to square one when it comes to protecting yourself. Open a separate account for this money and try to get a competitive interest rate. Go to bankrate.com to find the best rates while you're still keeping the money safe and liquid. You need to be able to get at the money whenever you need it, which is why CDs are not as appropriate for your emergency cash as money market accounts. For years, many people relied on credit cards or home equity loans as de facto emergency cushions. That doesn't work anymore. These days, you just can't rely on your lines of credit to be there tomorrow. Limits have been cut, often by $5,000, $10,000, even $20,000, and as a borrower, you don't have much in the way of recourse. Question 99. How do I teach my children to save money? Step 1. You start by talking to them about money and savings. These days, with so much of our banking done electronically, it's more important than ever because chances are your children never see you put checks in the bank because your pay is directly deposited. They only see you pull cash out, and they may not see you pay bills if you do it online from the office or on the computer after they're in bed. The problem with all of these technological advances is that unless you explain things to them, your children may think that there's an unlimited source of funds behind that ATM wall and that nobody has to pay bills ever. Step 2. Start an allowance. I'm a big believer that all children should receive some form of an allowance on a regular basis. You can't, though, just start passing out bills every week. An allowance needs to be prefaced with an explanation that you'll be giving them X number of dollars on a set schedule and that this money is intended for Y period of time. The X and Y are up to you but dependent on each other. When you start an allowance, you must decide that there are certain things you used to pay for that are now going on your children's tab. This list should be simple to start. Candy, comic books, but grow as they age, and as it grows, so should the amount of money they receive. You can put saving money or giving to charity on the list too. You just have to give your children enough money to cover it. The trick is in the balance. You want to give your children enough money to buy some but not all of the items on their list every week. If they want all of the items on the list, they have to progress to Step 3. Step 3. Let them work to earn more. Unfortunately, and I have learned this lesson through experience, no money you give your children and no money they get for their birthdays or Christmas will mean as much to your children as money they earn themselves. Children aren't as eager to save your hard-earned money as they are theirs. When they're young, pay them to do things you might otherwise pay strangers to do, like walk the dog or wash the car. And when they get older, encourage them to work outside the home. Students can excel at school and hold down a part-time job simultaneously. Along the way, talk to your children about having goals. Little kids can save for something small at the dollar store. Older kids might work toward a new toy or even an MP3 player. Once they save up enough money to make their purchase, they'll feel that sense of accomplishment that comes with buying something for which they've worked hard. It doesn't hurt to tell them about some of the goals you are saving for yourself, like a family vacation or a new car. Finally, as far as where to stash the cash, for younger children it helps to have a fun savings bank so they can count their money and watch it grow. Once they reach age 9 or 10, they're old enough to have a savings account at the bank. Talk to them about interest at that point and explain that the bank pays them for leaving their money in the account. Show them the interest they're earning on a regular basis. As I said, an allowance should be used to shift the responsibility.